So let's start with strategic execution. What is strategic execution, and can you give me some examples of what you're talking about?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So just about every company or every organization has a need to put together a strategic plan. That set of activities that they aspire to, that set of goals and objectives that they aspire to, what they want to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Interestingly enough, a study done a few years back by Kaplan at Harvard indicated that 90% of companies don't execute their strategies effectively. And when we talk about executing major strategies, we're talking about things like mergers and acquisitions, developing global products, going global, implementing major new business systems, refocusing the company, restructuring the company, new businesses, etc. These are all major changes or major strategy changes inside of a business that require careful planning, communications, and support. Companies do it poorly because it is complex. It requires a tremendous amount of planning, but more importantly, it requires engagement of everyone in the organization. It requires that they are accountable to these strategies. It requires that these strategies are clearly articulated, and most important, it requires perseverance on the side of the management team in staying with the plan, staying with the implementation of these strategies. And most companies don't do that well. We've all been brought up in a world of instant gratification, and if we identify something today, 3 years from now, it's kind of become old news. And so we work with folks to help bring them back and keep them focused on their long-term strategies.
What is the right order of activities for successful strategic execution?
Well, you need to have a clearly articulated strategy, that thing that tells me where I am today and where I want to be in the future. You need to understand as a business what I call are the organizational gaps and strategic gaps, so that you know what you have to do in order to implement your strategy, but you also need to know what's missing inside your organization in terms of people, skills, or structure. And, the important thing is that once you've developed the organization's capability, you then need to focus on modifying business processes to support those strategies long term.
And who is responsible for this?
It's interesting. Senior leaders are responsible for it, the CEO and his or her staff, but the board of directors is responsible for it. Major stakeholders are responsible for it, customers, suppliers, and employees throughout the whole organization. And it sounds really complex, but it's not. If you choose the right order and you engage or involve everyone in the business, including the stakeholders, it's actually much simpler than it sounds.